Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Ride A-4 snowboard binding. I rode this binding over 2 days at Copper Mountain, so the first day was overcast, super crappy, just low light, choppy chundery, high winds, and then the second day it was sunny, bluebird, warmer temps, softer snow, so I kind of just got a mix of everything in the spring, and I rode it on my Ride Shadowband snowboard with my K2 Thraxis boots. So with this binding, you got minimal adjustability. You got flip tabs on the toe and the heel, so pop it open, slide it forward, slide it back, center it over your boot. The Highback, you do have a forward lean adjustment, so you can flip that up, slide it down to lock it in place. You do have the ability to move the Highback rotation as well as the strap placement because it's on a slide track. There are 2 set screws on the side of this binding, so you loosen them up, pull the heel cup out, or push it in to center it. And then finally there is the foot pad, which has a small slide track that you can slide it forward or backwards on as well. When it comes to the straps, they're very minimal. You have no padding, that is all going to be provided by your boot. With the heel strap, it has a ton of give and a big cutout in it. Basically, you're going to see that it has a lot of flex. With the toe strap, it's got that huge cutout. This will fit a multitude of boot shapes and grip over that toe box relatively easily. If you're expecting these to be slightly rigid, they are not. They have a ton of give. So one thing I want to note about the Ratchets right out of the box, these were a little sticky. They got better as the day went on. They do climb well, that one finger quick release. It does take a little bit more effort just due to them being slightly sticky, but it does work. Overall, they're Ratchets, they're dialed, you don't have to worry about them. With the Highback, they're a little more rigid than you would think with all those cutouts. When you push back into them, you notice that you get some power. There's a little bit of lateral give to them, but not much. It is a very narrow Highback, so it's basically resting on the spine. You're not gonna feel any issues when you're trying to tweak with it. The forward lean adjustment is very easy to use. It is rigid right out the box, but that does break in. You can slide that up or down depending on where you need that forward lean. Or if you're one of those psychopaths that adjust their forward lean on the fly, which I don't know why anyone would do that, you can do that. This is a softer binding for sure, even though it is aluminum. Underfoot, it's gonna be a little bit more rigid than you would think, and that Highback is also rigid, so when you're driving back on a heel side edge, you get some response. Where you're going to get the most flex is going to be going forward on the toe through that heel strap and that toe strap. They're not very rigid. They have a lot of give to them. Side to side, the way the binding's shaped and the way it's beveled, you get a little bit more lateral roll. Overall, it's below a middle of the road, but it's definitely above a full-blown entry-level binding or a jib binding. This is a real lively binding. You're going to basically feel every vibration with it at some point, whether it's micro or big. The foot pad does do an okay job of dissipating some of it, but if you come down really hard, you're probably gonna feel it. Or if you're just riding through a washboard, it's got nowhere else to go but up into your foot and through your lower back. Believe me, my lower back was killing me after riding these things and taking some hard impacts. So overall, I know that this binding is below my ability level. Personally, I would have preferred the C version. It's just a little bit more damp. Is this a bad binding? No. If this was your first binding, I'd be real stoked on it because it's very easy to adjust and it's very meat and potatoes in what you get, but it's not gonna hinder you with its performance capabilities. Overall, it gets the job done. Comparable bindings, the Union Flight Pro, the K2 Indy, the Battalion Chaos. This has been my review of the Ride A-4 binding. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own a pair? Are you gonna buy a pair? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this binding. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and well, I'm probably going to continue to be your host, and I'll see you in another video.